Hey everybody. I haven't posted on the main channel in a while. There's a good reason why. I post on another channel now, but I decided not to put this video on Clicky Studios because I feel like that's a little bit separate from what we're sort of talking about here. Because I want to speak on my behalf, and you need to be watching this channel. That is a sentence I don't think I have said in the past year. It has been a very long time since I've said about a cuber that isn't myself or my friend, you need to be watching this channel. And I think I found it. His name is Brandon True, and he's probably popped up on your feed a lot. And this guy, he is like, he blew my mind. I think. I had the chance to talk to him too, which I'll briefly touch upon later. But I just wanted sort of to like walk you through this whole thing. So the way I found Brandon's channel was I was like watching back my Monkey League or not my Monkey League match. The Monkey League match I judged because I made a pretty bad mistake in that match. Yeah, so I was like, wow, are people actually talking about it? Because I don't know why I looked, but anyway, I was looking through the comments and I saw like, wow, this guy is a really like, wow, this guy is like kind of a professional profile picture. Like, I don't know why the profile picture intrigued me, but I like knew I definitely saw this guy like somewhere in my feed. And then when I look at it, I basically see like this part of it right here. I basically see, I guess I'll just show you this part of it like right here, like up until like maybe like this video. And I'm like, wow, really? That's just kind of insane. I don't think I've ever heard of that concept before. His main hook is that he is training to become a professional speedcuber, like top of the top, like creme de la creme, basically. And I look into his stuff a little bit more. So here's his link tree right here. What I really, well, this is before the Cubicle sponsorship. Congratulations, by the way. But I want to read the about me with you guys because this really tells you a lot about him. And this was like pretty much one of my first impressions of him. So he talks about, his personal life and stuff. Talks about how he got started into cubing, and he graduated college. He has his wife. And then he talked about cubing again, which is something that I found kind of weird because normally at this point cubers retire. But anyway, then he explained like, "Hey, speed cubing could be the path for me," and I thought that was really interesting. And he outlines his reasons, and these reasons are like this tells me a lot about him. Um, he loves the feeling of mastery. Spending 2 years in the gym and knowing I've earned this PR is amazing. Same thing in business, same thing in cubing. Cubing is a very raw, pure discipline. I think it's really beautiful. I love the flow state of cubing. Low stakes pressure helps me in high stakes arenas. I have a business I want to grow, plus a few other things that are fairly high stakes. If I mess things up, there are very real consequences to myself and my family. Cubing is low stakes. If I mess up in a comp, what really goes wrong? Not much. Which is true. I mean, if I really had high stakes about clock, I don't think it would end well for me if they were actually like high stakes and competing in clock. And cubing is the only thing that I see that encompasses all these factors: hard work, mastery, competition, pure discipline, flow state, low stakes pressure that would be wise to add to my life right now. And then he also ends it by saying, imagine the dad lore. Yeah, son, I was top 10 in the world for cubing. Also powerlifted 1,200 pounds total. That would be so epic. Imagine, bro. That's. I. When I first read it, I was like, huh. Like, this guy is not only like serious about it, but he's very upfront about what he wants to do. He's very what's the word? He's very he's kind of blunt about it. That he genuinely sort of loves the competition around it. And that's something that I haven't really seen in cubing that much. And it's something that I was scared about for a little bit because cubing is all about community. It's about everyone's supposed to like each other. And I'm not saying that he's like not saying that. I'm saying like no one has like truly, I feel like, emphasized like the competition part without, while sort of like not necessarily talking about the community as much. Well, like I know that there's this whole like theme of like individuality and competing against yourself in cubing, but I feel like he's taking it to the next level that no one has ever seen before. Like when you think of like competing in individuality, when people talk about that, they put that sort of second to the whole aspect of cubing and community. This is becoming more competitive. And another thing that I see here is thoughts on training. So, cubing is a hobby for most. I enjoy it too. But I get the deepest joy from things in my life where I chose a hard thing, did it a lot for a long time, then saw reward on the other side. I'm not trying to have fun with cubing. I'm trying to derive joy from it. I believe that comes from a mixture of mastery and impact. Wow, that is something that I have never seen before. I have never seen before someone that is actively training to become a speedcuber. Like, not actively training, but actively training for the sake of training. Not like, I know he did it as a hobby before, but no one has been like this open about it at this early stage. Like, he is not by any means, no offense, by any means a world-class cuber right now. But he is going to be, or he wants to be at least. I'm not saying, maybe I shouldn't say he's going to be. He wants to be, and that's the most important part of this. And yet, when you devote yourself to the process of training or working after lots of suffering, you learn to enjoy it. Not because it's fun, but because the act of pushing yourself hard in something that you know will eventually net results gives you joy. Sometimes the results are fun too, but 99% of fitness, finances, and even cubing are not fun. They are hard. That's okay with me. I don't expect to be very fast for a few years, but I do expect the path to be hard. I'll be here putting in the work. I hope you follow along for the ride. That is... I've never seen that much, like, sort of pure ambition. Like, it's really hard for me to find a moment where I felt... Like, people have definitely had this feeling, but they never before, like, put it out on a silver plate and also sort of advertised it to the public. Like, I'm very sure that this is something that has happened before in cubing, but they've never, like, done it to this scale of, like, YouTube and stuff like that. So let's go to his YouTube channel. If you look at his YouTube channel, the very first thing I also noticed were his stuff from before. It's like a very normal cubing channel. And 2 months ago, he sort of, like, flipped a switch. And he talked about, like, his cubing training program and stuff. And I was like, okay. And then then his mic got better. And I was like, that's actually the most important part, by the way. The fact that his mic got better. That's when I actually started to pay attention. That goes to show you how much audio really matters in YouTube videos. Once his mic got better, I knew that he was being serious about this YouTube thing. And when I figured that he was being serious not only about this YouTube thing, but this cubing thing, I thought, okay, maybe this is like a little... it sounds a little too good to be not too good to be true. It just seems like I'm really curious about this. Like, what is behind all of this? You know? So I learned a little bit more about him in a video call. I'm not gonna publish the video call because I didn't record it. And also I don't think that'd be fair because I think it was relatively private. But the things I can tell you from that video call were he is like committed to this. You know, it's not just like it's not just a side gig. Like, he's committed. Like, this is the real deal. Like, I can tell you, like, right now, he believes in what he says. And he is not like a plant, as in like, hey, I'm just doing this for... Well, I guess in a sense he is sort of kind of doing it for the clout, if you really want to put it that way. But he was a cuber before all of this. Like, he was a natural cuber. Like, he told me that the most surprising thing about this, at least selfishly for me personally, is that he knew who I was. He actually knew who I was, which is like not just like the Clicky Studios thing. He knew like my clock experience at nationals and when I was trying to be like at that level. That was insane to me. If you ever want to impress somebody, look through all their past stuff. Um, yeah, he knew who I was, and he told me that he was like cubing around that time too, and he sort of like followed that. That was insane to see how sort of connected that was. But that's sort of on me. That's like a me experience. For you, what you should be taking away from this at the end of the day is watching these videos. He will like explain things that like I never thought about, because this guy is not really something that we've seen so publicly. Like we know that people like train super hard in cubing, but for the most part, they never do it like this openly. Put it on like a decently produced YouTube video that anyone can watch. Like some people are very secretive about this training thing. Like they will have the same motivation, but they will never publish anything that they do. And that's another way to do it. That's completely fine. This guy just wants to do it this way. And I think it's better for all of us, honestly. Because new perspectives in cubing is something that's very important, in my opinion. I feel like at this point in cubing, it might be fair to say that I don't know. It's just, I feel like I see more of the sense of like, maybe we need to think about like our position in cubing is not safe as just being a very happy community, volunteer run. There's no problems ever. Because that's sort of what it was advertised as. At least that's what it was advertised as to me when I joined. I'm not saying that it should go away. I think that it should actually stay. I think that that would be the better way to go if it was sustainable. But the fact is that it's not sustainable, which is the truth. At least if it's going to go in the way that the WCA is sort of expecting it to go, which is to be a competitive sport, an Olympic sport. This is going to be a test subject, probably. I feel like this is going to be a case study one day. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but I wish Brandon the best of luck. I I'm just amazed by this channel, and I'm amazed by this project that I really hope does succeed, because if it does succeed, it'll definitely lead the way for a lot of other aspiring cubers and aspiring competitive cubers too. So yeah, those are my thoughts about that. So, yeah.